Hi, I'm Justin Lowry from On the Square Emporium, and today I'm reacting to antiques on Reddit. First up, we have original Hawaiian survey print. We've got a certificate of authenticity. First thing with all certificates of authenticity is how authentic is a certificate of authenticity. You need to look up the company. I don't really know this company, I haven't done the research into it, but the most important thing is look up the company that's selling the certificate of authenticity. I always get quite dubious with a lot of certificates of authenticity because some of them are not authentic. Lahaina Print Sellers Limited. This is a print done in 1915. Whenever you're looking at these things, you've got to have a look. Sometimes they are a reprint, so the actual original map may have been 1915, but this is 1950s, 60s, or 70s, and then they will have different print runs, but this here is an original print from 1915. So that makes it quite interesting. Yet survey maps are very in. Is it hand colored? The coloring's fantastic. I love the muted base colors. It is Oahu, Hawaiian Island. Great. I mean, it's anyone who's got anything to do with Hawaii, been to this island, lived on it, comes from it, something like that there, or just someone that collects. This is very collectible. I would say value-wise, it really depends where it is. It comes down to subject matter. We would sell a lot of historical West maps and maps, and you can have an old one, you can have 19th century, 1880s one that's of a boring bit of coastline and not an awful lot in it, and it's worth £20. Or you could have a 1950s, 60s one of a town or something more substantial, and it's worth £100, £200. So it really comes down to the age, how good it is, the quality of it, and the subject matter. So this one here is of a good island. It's a Hawaiian island. It's an interesting one. So I'd say you're sort of looking £200 to £300, possibly a bit more. Great little piece, lovely colours, £200 to £300. Next, signet rings are pretty cool. They have a long history. So a signet ring originally would be something you would seal with. So it's either a sealing ring or a family crest ring. So a signet ring, essentially you would have sealed wax onto something. So imagine a wax parchment. You've seen the old movies where they break open a parchment. So that would be dollop of wax, the seal ring would go into it. A lot of the time the seals were sort of metal actual seals, but those there essentially anyone could get in, steal your seal and put it on. So some of the most important seals by the most important people would be, they'd always have it on their hand. So nobody's going to be able to forge it. It's on their finger. So looking at these here, I would say they're looking gold. Some great rings. They would be late 19th century, mid 1870s, 80s, 90s. Can't see. Zooming in. Yeah, they're so quality. Interesting little rings. I would say they are from 1880 to 1920. Maybe more fashion signets than anything else. Intrinsic value, I'd say you're talking 20, 30, 40 pounds. All right, on to the next one. German piano. In its favor, it's black, so that helps. Essentially, we get offered all the time dark brown mahogany pianos. Very few people want pianos these days. If they do want a piano, it's normally one they want to learn on, so it needs to be good, hold a good tune, and they normally go modern. Pianos are one of the hardest things to sell. What's a piano worth? Piano is worth from a Steinbach 30, 40, 50, 60 grand down to zero. Probably most of our pianos we get for free. People phone us, say, well, we buy a piano, we say no. Then they phone us again, we'll say, well, if nobody else wants it, we'll take it for free. They're insulted, and then about 4 months later they go, nobody will take it. Will you take it? And we take it. We'll only ever have 1 or 2 pianos at a time. They're hard to sell. Older pianos are harder to tune. So unless it is a really good one, there's very little value in it. Retail wise, you know, if we cleaned this up, we'd have it in the shop, maybe 150 to 250 pounds. I'd need to see what the overall body of it's like. Really trying to sell it, you just need to get somebody at the right time. We can sit on a piano here for a year. Great things, a lot of fun, but yes, we don't have pianos in the house. Gone are the days every mid to large house had a piano. We're offered 5 to every one we sell. Moving on to the next one, silver letter opener. So the first picture here is the back of it here. So we can see it's silver. We've got the lion there, is the second one up, but I'm dubious. That does not look silver to me. It could be the light on it. It does seem to have a very coppery hue coming to it. Now, we've been, again, forging things forever. I mean, to make something silver, all you need to do is get a silver mark, put it on it, and hit it with a hammer. Bang, she's silver. Looking at this here, from this picture here, I would say, I think that's not silver. The place marking is very hard to work out. It's either worn off or scrubby, but it's definitely claiming to be silver. Don't have it in front of me, not sure. Always be wary. One of the best things to do is get a very strong magnet. Stronger magnet, the better. Put it to it. Silver will not be attracted to a magnet. Silver at the minute is, I think, sort of spot value of about 60p a gram. You're not going to get that, so you're talking 45, 50p a gram, sort of what you're trading in scrap value. So you just weigh it, and that's basically what I would go on the value of it. If it is silver plate, it's worth a couple of pounds. Cool piece. Okay, next one we have up here, Tutti Frutti game. Tutti Frutti game. Okay, love my vintage games. So this here is, yeah, it's a game of skill. Never had this one before. I would buy and sell an awful lot of games, from one-armed bandit games to solitaire, handheld games. Love table billiards. So I would say Edwardian, maybe even up to the 30s or 40s this could be. So you'd have the 3 balls. You'd somehow or other launch the balls up. You've got a no score, then all the fruit, and a no score. You got to try and get the balls in a row, and a bit like fruit machine. If you get 3 plums, you win a lot more. Tell us, yeah, what we've got down here. Yeah, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. So you got the scoring values on the bottom. Cool little game. You can imagine this here out after dinner, 1920s, 30s. Fantastic game of fun. Probably a game of gambling once the women have gone to bed. This sort of thing. Yeah, boy. It's cool. It's quirky. It's got the balls there. It looks playable. Not sure exactly how you play it, but it looks playable. Definitely an easily selling thing, this. It's not going to break the bank. Without seeing it up close, you're definitely talking 50 to 100 pounds this. It can maybe even be cleaned up a wee bit. Quirky thing. It's got good colours. It's a quirky antique you can use, you can bring out at a dinner party. Like it. I'd put 95 quid on it if it was mine. Okay, and on to the last one today. We've got a globe. Okay, this looks like it is not a terrestrial globe, so it's not a globe of the earth. This is a celestial globe. A globe of the skies and the heavens. Now, this is quite cool. This is different. Globes are cool. They take up a bit of space, and a lot of people know the globes where you can open up the drinks inside. They can be from cool antique ones through to terrible repro ones, but this is something different. This is real good antique. No hell of an old. Definitely say it's an antique. It's 100 years old at least. No more than 150 tops. So the manufacturer is J. Felkel and Sons. J. Felkel and Sons are German, and with a factory in the Czech Republic. Well, you're looking sort of turn of the century. So this is sort of 1890 to 1910. That's somewhere about there, maybe 1920 tops. I'd say this one here, looking at, I'd say sort of almost probably bang on sort of 1900. This was used for educational purpose, for astronomical study. So it's be a decorative piece in libraries and studies. But remember, this is a time before TVs, before radio, before everything. A night's entertainment was getting a telescope, getting something like this out at the house, looking up different celestial points where Mars should be, where stars are aligned, and looking up and trying to find them. That would be high entertainment for a night. They don't have the latest binge series. So this would be quite a cool thing to have, and would probably be used quite a lot. You're probably talking a good big house in an upper class sort of family would have something like this here. Could also be in a school as well, school or university. You can tell it's had a lot of usage. There's some good patina on it. Everyone likes that there, patina. All wants a patina. So the outside there is good patina, but the crisscrossing, the bits that have the markings on them, it's more aged up. We've lost the bronzing effect on it, but still it looks great. It's got the wee compass in the bottom, so you can line it up with north, so you'd need to know what season you're in and where you're facing, and then you'd set it up. I love it. This is a good piece. I would value this here in perfect condition. This is £1,000, but this one here, you can see there's a few chips and damages on it. I think the metal has been well worn, maybe stored badly, rusted and cleaned back up, but it's still 300-400 quid. I do like this. I would like one. This is a nice piece, interesting bit. You don't see them too often, a celestial globe. Fantastic piece, £400. If you like this sort of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel below.